Well, it's time for Nintendo Partner Direct, and this could be a big one. There are a lot of third-party games rumored coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. Some sound too good to be true. Some sound kind of crazy. Reports about like Black Myth, Wukong. I myself had made observations that I think a lot of these games are going to struggle on the Switch 2 with performance after we did see the gameplay footage of Elden Ring not running so hot on the Switch 2 at that event. Concerns about Duskbloods as well, I think, are fair, given From Software and their engine. We're also hearing rumors, predictions, and reports about maybe Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to be at this event, as well as other Sonic games and things like that. Now, there will be a normal gaming news show later, once we're done with this. I'll schedule it here in a little bit, because there's so much else going on as well. I missed yesterday. A friend of mine was doing a once-in-a-lifetime, once-a-career thing. I was not going to miss it. You only get to do this once when you're like a professor. And I was like, I am not missing this because I've known him for... We basically came to the city the same time around 25 years ago, and I've known him almost the entire time. So I was very excited, very proud of him, and wasn't going to miss that. So that's why I was off yesterday. For those of you that missed the show, thank you everybody who jumped on the uploads and supported them. That is such a huge help to what we do here, to be able to do more than just the live streams. That does mean we are going to be a little behind on that weekly goal, so we'll see if we can't bounce that back today for that Saturday stream with Madam. We greatly appreciate you guys supporting. Oh, wait, I don't have it visible. I was like, I can't reset anything. There we go. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Go through all the rituals and hit that like button and do the things. That does help us out. I know Nintendo coverage here is a little spotty sometimes. When they did the Switch 2 announcement and other big announcements, we get a lot of people that want to come by and enjoy the content. But we do sometimes feel as though there's a lot of you here that aren't too big on the Nintendo platform. Completely understandable. But I think it's a very, very worthy debate, as well as a worthy discussion to talk about the third-party games that are going to be coming and their level of performance that people can expect. It can run on the Series S, though. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Strange. Are you talking about like Elden Ring running on Series S? I don't know what performance thresholds are for the Switch 2 versus like a Series S. I don't have that in my brain right now, but you're my favorite Nintendo YouTuber. I don't have that in my brain right now. I would hazard a guess that I think the Series S is a little stronger, isn't it? Yo, what's good, Light Leap? I wonder what new Mario game will be this time. I would not anticipate a Mario game being at this event. I would not anticipate that. This is a partner direct, meaning there will not be any first-party property there. This is going to be like Elden Ring, Final Fantasy, stuff like that. Yo, yeah. Good morning, Richard. All the bots on Twitter call me Richard. I love it. They're like, hey, Richard, we've got a really great offer for you. I'm like, I don't know who the frick Richard is, but whoever he is, you're trying to get in touch with him. I think Duskbloods will be fine. The game was originally being made for Switch 1. The issue to me there isn't like, well, it was originally being made for Switch 1. To me, the issue is you just have limitations on the Switch 2. Like, there's only so much you can do with optimization. There's only so much you can do with a game that's got a lot of open spaces. I mean, I'm just going to say it. There also is only so much you can do with From Software's engine. I mean, we've seen a consistent theme of... I would never say that a hallmark of a FromSoft game is optimization. That's not what they're known for. So I don't have a lot of confidence in that game running well and getting good reception. I just don't. If they come out and prove me wrong, wonderful. There's a very interesting thing going on right now, which is there's confidence in products and games that I feel is unwarranted. And when I try to, express caution or concern, people call me a hater. And it's like, wouldn't you rather be cautious and have a YouTuber advising caution instead of just hyping you up and like telling you to pre-order? Like, I'm okay with like optimism or hope. Like, man, I really hope it's good. I'm optimistic it's going to be good. That's not really in the category of hype. I think that's in its own category of like, yeah, I'm not really pessimistic about this. I'm not cynical. I think this could be good. I don't think I'm cynical or pessimistic either. I think I'm skeptical. There's a difference between skepticism and cynicism. There's a difference between like doubt and pessimism. And I feel like I'm in the category of like, I just really have doubts and skepticism about some of the games that we've seen lately. Like Crimson Desert, as an example, they just put another video on the PlayStation channel, and it's all PC footage. Now, this time they at least put it in the description of the video, and right at the beginning of the video, it's like super quick. You are dry hating. I don't know what that is. FromSoft knows what they're doing. So you think FromSoft is an example of a company that knows what they're doing with optimization, and yet Elden Ring launched with a ton of frame issues, optimization issues, stutters, hitches. They're known for having issues with frame pacing and frame issues in their games. Like, they are literally known for this. So how am I drawing skepticism about Duskbloods on the Switch 2? How is that dry hating? As opposed to just like making the assertion, like make an argument. I want you to explain to me where I'm wrong. I mean, I had a guy on Twitter telling me, you know, are you going to apologize if Crimson Desert comes out and performs fine? I'm like, why would I apologize? Like, what world do we live in where you need an apology if I'm advising caution? I'm just advising caution. I'm saying, I don't know, y'all. I would wait. There's nothing wrong with that. As the consumer, we have so much more power when we make the product prove itself as opposed to just letting the product advertise itself. Like, let the product prove itself, man. Like, we live in a time where we constantly get games that come out that have performance issues, that look nothing like the trailers, that really oversold themselves. Whether you have extreme examples like Mind's Eye and The Day Before, or less extreme examples, but I really feel like Cyberpunk really completely misrepresented itself. If you go back and look at all the advertisements and trailers for Starfield, I feel like Starfield really oversold itself and what it was bringing to the market. This is a common theme in gaming, so I don't get why we have this sort of like, it's like we have no short-term memory. We're like, no, you're just being a hater. It's like, what do you mean? We're constantly dealing with games like this. And when I start to smell something that doesn't smell right, I'm just going to tell you, like, man, listen, you guys need to be cautious on this one. I'd maybe not pre-order this one. Happy Thursday, chat. Hope all is well. Everybody take good care of yourselves. Family, mental health, be safe. God bless. Thank you so much, Sucker. I appreciate that. Sucker Butcher Punch. Good to see everybody on both platforms. Make sure if you guys are watching on YouTube, hit the like button. We don't really do a lot of Nintendo coverage, so the likes really help. Preach, bro, preach. That's what I don't understand. Like, if I was sitting here saying this game is going to be trash and it is going to suck, that is hate. Me saying, guys, I don't know. I'm skeptical about this one. I would hold off on your pre-orders. I would hold off and wait. We're more empowered than we've ever been as gamers to avoid a bad purchase. We're so empowered. You can see reviews. You can see live streams the day it comes out. A lot of you guys are going to be at work and not even able to play the dadgum game when it comes out. You're going to be working a shift, and you can watch a review, a live stream, and you can be like, you know what? Lona was wrong. This game's killer. Or you could be like, Lona was right. This has a ton of problems. I'm going to hold off and wait. The Chuds are crying because of Ghosts of Yote. Let's save that. Let's save that for the talk show. This is the Nintendo Direct co-stream, but boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. We're 1 month into 2026 and more narratives are dying. Isn't it a lovely thing? It's a lovely day. Consoles are dead. They can't grow. And Yote flopped. Let's look at the numbers, shall we? FromSoft games run like crap since Demon Souls. I would not say they've run like crap. I would just say I don't think FromSoft is a company that I would hold up as the paragon of optimization. Like they're the killers. They really know how to optimize a game. I would hold up like id Software. I would hold up like Insomniac. I would hold up Kojima Productions and Guerrilla with the Decima engine. I would say these are companies that clearly are very good at optimization, getting games to run incredibly well. I would even look at the porting company, Nixxes, and say they do very good work. I would never, if somebody said, what's a game company, what's a developer that's known for optimization and performance, even FromSoft fans wouldn't tell you that FromSoft is known for that. They would never say that. They'd be like, no, they're not known for that. They're actually known for the opposite. Derek says, maybe don't pre-order has become controversial. Seriously. I'm going to keep coming back to this because I think this is just such a wonderful insight. This came from Josh Strife Hayes. He made a video about the Ashes of Creation situation, and he said he feels like one of the reasons people become such a big fan of an MMORPG that they've done like a backing for and they're waiting for it to come out. He said he felt like the reason these people will defend the game to the death is because at that moment, the game is perfect. It's a dream. It only exists in their mind, and therefore it can have no flaws. And when you try to shatter or chip away at that dream and say, I don't know, this looks too good to be true, I don't know, I'm skeptical about this game's performance and how well it's going to run, you're shattering their dream. You're messing with something that they're looking forward to. It would kind of be like going to somebody who had just booked a vacation, and you're like, oh, I've been there, that place sucks. Right? They've got a big non-refundable, all expenses paid package to some beach resort. And you're like, yeah, no, I've been there. That place sucks. All the pictures are fake. The wait staff is terrible. The beachfront's awful. The food is bad. That would be very frustrating for them. They'd be like, man, you just completely shattered the thing that I was looking forward to. Now, that's hyperbolic, but I'm using that as an example. I feel like that's what people feel I'm doing. They're like, well, this is the thing that I'm really looking forward to, man. I think this is going to be really good, and you're sitting here trying to be a Debbie Downer. And it's like, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I am not trying to tell you that your vacation trip's going to suck. I'm trying to tell you, maybe pump the brakes on a pre-order and wait and see if I'm right or wrong. That's all. Just to let you know, it doesn't show that you're live. That's no worries. I mean, that's a typical day on YouTube, homie. That's very common. I'm not sweating that. I tell you that book club is lame all the time. You still go and don't get bent about it. Well, but you're not being serious. I mean, the point is that the game, whether it's Duskbloods or Crimson Desert or any of these games, I consistently have said, listen, I would just hold off and wait. And I think people that are really looking forward to it are like, man, you're really bringing down the vibe. Because they're on, I'm not going to say hype train. They're on the train of hope, right? There's a difference between hype and hope. They're not hyping it up. I mean, there have been some guys that have said things about Crimson Desert. I'm like, are you staff? Like, what is this? They're like, this game is going to be absolutely incredible. It's going to change everything. I'm like, are you on staff? Like, huh? So, excuse me. You know, so I definitely think there are people hyping up Crimson Desert. I think a lot of the people, though, are just on the hope train. They're hopeful that it's going to be good. They're hopeful it's going to be awesome. They're hopeful it's really going to deliver on everything it's promising. And when I walk in the room and say, yeah, I don't think so, I'm skeptical, I'm a little worried, I'm a little concerned, they're like, man, you know, you're really bursting my hope bubble over here. I get it. I'm not trying to ruin your day. I'm not. I just can't. In the way that I view games and trailers, I can't unsee some of the things we've seen over the years. I can't unsee the patterns. I can't unsee the tactics. I can't unsee the strategies. And the more and more I've looked at Crimson Desert, the more and more I'm like, bro, I'm here to tell you something isn't right. There is something wrong here. The marketing absolutely reeks. There's something stinks. I can't tell what it is. Something is not right. I'm not saying the game's going to be bad. I'm talking about the marketing. You look at the marketing for Crimson Desert and everything about it doesn't feel right to me. I don't know. I just don't. It feels like if I had to guess and throw a dart with a blindfold on, I would say they really, really scope creeped that project. And they really oversold it in trailers. And now they're trying to do their darndest to make it look mind-blowing before it comes out. Because I think the veil's going to get ripped off in the first 24 hours. That's what I personally think might be going on. I'm not making an accusation. I'm not saying that the game is going to be garbage. I'm saying I think they scope creeped the frick out of that game, and it is a monster. And I don't think they're going to be able to land the plane gracefully. I don't think they're going to be able to land it gracefully. I think it could end up being a very good game, but that thing is going to launch. I think there's going to be a lot of rough edges, and I think the marketing just screams that to me. Everything about the marketing screams that to me. Who cares about the marketing if the game is good? But the marketing is the runway to the game launching. You have to ask the questions that other people seemingly aren't willing to ask, which is, if the game is in such a great state and is going to be so amazing, why don't you just do like a hands-on raw gameplay debut? Why don't you just show me this thing? Let me see it. What's with all this like hyped up, over-processed, over-sharpened, PC footage on a rig that's clearly not the average consumer's PC power? Like, what are we doing here? I'm telling you, it has all of the hallmarks of a problem. I've never seen marketing like this that ends up being just fine. I've not seen it. In the decade that I've covered gaming, the minute a game starts marketing itself this way, I'm like, oh yeah, y'all, something's going on here. This stinks. Yeah, the game has gone gold. Can we talk about that? Going gold used to mean something. Going gold means you have a shippable version of the game. Show it to me. What are we doing here? Boot the game up right now and record some footage. That's not difficult. A YouTuber can do that in 30 minutes if a game is playable. I could do that right now. If someone's like, Lono, could you demonstrate some of the performance issues in Cairn, that climbing game? I'd be like, yeah, no problem. Give me 30 minutes. I'd go over there in the other room. I'd go to a high location. I'd spin the camera around, go into a cave, spin the camera around. It would jitter. It would stutter. I'd have the footage recorded. I'd have that on Twitter in 30 minutes. You got a game that went gold and you can't show us gameplay. And you're like, well, we're in the optimization phase. What the frick does that even mean? If the game has gone gold, why can't you just show it to me? I'm telling you, that doesn't... The math don't math. It doesn't add up. They put out a new trailer. Yes, more PC footage on the PlayStation channel. Homies, if you have followed me for any amount of time, you guys know that I don't do this. I don't have it out for a game and try to hurt the game before it comes out. That is just simply not something that I do. I try to have the consumer, I've always said this, the consumer needs to be as informed as humanly, reasonably possible. I want you to be informed as much as possible before you give somebody your money. That has always been my sort of slogan, and that's always been sort of my soapbox, the thing that I kind of bang on. I'm like, listen, y'all, this is something that is very important to your ability as a consumer to make decisions. 100%. You need to be informed. And when I feel like you're getting half-truths or overbaked trailers or misleading marketing, homie, I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to be like, nope, everybody chill. Everybody chill. Hold. Everybody hold. Don't pre-order this one. Something's not right here. And if that upsets you and you don't like me doing that, at the very least, at least maybe I help somebody avoid something that wasn't ready, or it's all over and when the game comes out, I get to say I was wrong. I get to come out and be like, yeah, I was wrong, guys. The game was flawless. Yo, a 10 bomb comes in from Broken Earth. Let's do it at it. 1:15. We're going to be quite a ways behind today. We are going to be quite a ways behind. I just scheduled the stream. We are going to have a talk show after this, y'all. This is just a Nintendo Direct co-stream. I felt like if I went live at the literal time they're doing the Nintendo Direct co-stream, people would just come and be like, trying to tell us about what happened. A 10 spot from OA as a super chat. How dare you be reasonable? Listen, the worst case, which do you think is worth? Yo, what's good, Drug Doc? Thank you for 19 months over there on Purple. Guys, check your renewals. If you want that Madam stream on Saturday, we're going to have to kind of hustle up because we missed a day yesterday. Which do you think is worse? I caution you to not pre-order. The game comes out and is fine, and then you can purchase the game and play it. Okay? Is that really that big of a deal? No. If I hype it up and I get you all gung-ho and hoped up, I could have watched those trailers with y'all and done the faces and the shock and awe and been like, this game is going to be insane. Oh my gosh. And then you pre-order. What happens if you pre-order and then it has a bunch of problems? Which is worse? In the one scenario, you still got the game. You pre-ordered it. Whatever. Maybe you waited. Maybe not waited because you might not be able to pre-order it. Maybe you miss out on pre-order bonuses. Okay, that'd be the risk, I guess, because maybe you miss out on some pre-order bonuses. And the other scenario, you're stuck with a game that you can't do anything with. You can't return it. You're just stuck holding it and hoping that they fix it. I would not pre-order Crimson Desert on console without footage. That's what I'm trying to say to people. When a game has gone gold and they're expressing an unwillingness to show you the game on console, they do interviews, they dance all around the console questions of performance and optimization. I'm like, all right, yeah, hold off, bros. I'm not lambasting this game or slandering this game. I'm telling you, let's hold off and wait for the reviews and let's wait for gameplay day one. I'll buy it. I'll stream it. I'll show you the game. I'll let you know how it runs. What's good, Behemoth? 50 months from Mr. Butters over there. Gets us to 117 on the week. Off the top of your head, can you think of another game that kept only posting PC gameplay on the PlayStation channel? It will be good to show repeating history. I'd not researched this. I don't know. I don't know. People keep asking me that. They're like, well, is this something that they commonly do? And I'm like, it's hard to say because you can't show PC footage of like Saros or Wolverine. They're launching on PlayStation only. Their PC ports aren't even ready yet. So, like, who knows when we're going to see those games on PC? Yeah, there's rumors about Starfields and all kinds of stuff, guys. We will talk about that after the Nintendo Direct. We're going to do a normal talk show after the Nintendo Direct. I wanted to be able to cover this and react to it. There could be some pretty significant things. Let me pull it up. Here we go. All right, let me reset all the audio devices, too. I forgot to do that this morning. I don't know why I need to do this, but... one more time. Yo, Space Jockey with 11 months. Let me add you to the total. Thank you so much. Here, we'll get the member count up on the board. There it is, 118. I appreciate you so much, brother. Here, we're going to drop the same thing. We're going to reset the audio device for my PC. So when we watch this, there's no desync. Okay. Says, good morning, Lono. Glad you're back. I recently discovered the feature to hype videos on YouTube. Does it really make a difference? Yes. Anytime you guys watch one of my videos on your mobile device, if you use your ability to hype the video, that's extremely helpful to me, and I greatly appreciate that. Also, right now, take a quick second and hit the like button, y'all, if you haven't. Let's try to get 100 likes before this show starts in the next 3 minutes. At least on Steam, you can get a refund. Well, sure, yes, and listen, that's a whole other territory because you get into PC land and they make recommendations. They talk about minimum spec. You know, drivers can come out. You could have a bottleneck. Blah blah blah. That's less. And Siege Master comes in with the 5 bomb. We are a little behind on pace, y'all, because I took yesterday off. Good morning, Snow. Good to see you. I took yesterday off. I had a friend of mine. It was like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. You can only do this once in your career as like a professor, and I was not going to miss it. And so it was a big moment for him. We've been friends for a very long time, so I had to do that. I appreciated you guys supporting the upload yesterday, but that means we are a little bit behind on pace. So any renewals or membership gifting or anything you guys do like that helps us unlock that Saturday stream. Skyrim Switch 2 version port. Here we come. Oh, yeah, right. I already got burned by Black Myth on my PS5 Pro. Yeah, we're hearing that Black Myth Wukong is coming to the Switch too. I genuinely have no idea how that's even going to remotely run. I really don't. Like, that just seems insane to me. You know, like Black Myth Wukong of all games. And a 10 bomb comes in from Space Jockey and gets us to 133. I owe YouTube a member. I'm going to hold off. I'll do that later. I need to get sound going here. This is going to start any minute now. All right, so hang on 1 second here. All right, let me pause my music. Thank you guys so much for the ongoing support of the channel. We're literally able to do this full time because of your gifting and because of your support. Forgot, I'm on my work incognito account. It's your favorite 5-foot Florida woman? 5-foot Florida woman. Do I know you in real life? Yeah, Black Myth Wukong on a Switch 2 sounds insane to me. Yo, Tyler Johnson with the VIP, adding it to the total. Thank you so much for that renewal. Black Myth is a frame gen game. Nintendo's all about frame gen. I don't know. That's 54 months from Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. That's a lot of months, brother. I'm hurt that wasn't a good enough clue. 5-foot Florida woman. Oh, I know who you are. You're very pregnant right now.
Deep in space, a research station was suddenly struck by a cosmic storm.
Thank you, Raven.
15 years later, its survivors are living peacefully. But the threat of another cosmic storm is coming.
Is this that co-op
fast.
game? Yes, it is. I think this game looks great.
And Omura, two young explorers, must now brave galactic dangers and save all that's left of their home. Teamwork is key in this two-player co-op adventure.
Yo, thank you, Nick, for gifting a member.
You'll need a few tools to survive. The scrap hook grabs and moves platforms so you can carve a path forward.
Yeah, this looks so fun.
The
It's like
liquid
It
launcher
Takes Two
blasts
anime.
Water to activate mechanisms and cool down scorching surfaces. And the beam cannon fires a stream of super hot heat to destroy obstacles, open doors, and more. Use the tools together, and you might discover unexpected solutions to puzzles. While exploring, you can encounter strange life forms, or opt for a detour and take a little travel break. With GameShare, two players can adventure together locally or online if one person has the game. Can these two brave explorers save their home? Orbitals launches exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2 system this summer.
That's weird we still don't have a release date. I love that It Takes Two is like influencing the market and we're getting more games like that. It is weird that we don't have a release date just yet though. Like summer? Like what do you mean? It's February.
To the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch systems. What you just saw was Orbitals, launching exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2 this summer. We hope you're looking forward to this intergalactic co-op puzzle adventure. Okay, let's take a look at some upcoming Nintendo Switch games.
Yeah, it just started broken.
In the waters of Issei Bay, on an island where legends of mermaids have been passed down, a tale of mysteries and curses stirs. The latest Paranormacite mystery adventure is coming to the Nintendo Switch system. The story follows Yuza Minakuchi, a boy who works as a pearl diver. One day, while gathering on the seafloor, he encounters another version of himself.
Thank you, Joker Quinn.
This phenomenon is just the beginning. Soon, other strange incidents begin to plague the island. A girl with no memories, strangers searching for treasure, and a housewife investigating victims of drowning. Speaking to those involved is a natural part of the investigation, but you'll also need to search deep within the waters of Issei Bay. As each of their motives intertwine, the story connects to the mermaid legend told centuries ago. Paranormacite, The Mermaid's Curse, launches on Nintendo Switch, February 19th. Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop.
This event is only about 30 minutes long. We will have a normal talk show. There's a lot of other gaming news to
New
discuss.
Captain Tsubasa game is kicking its way onto Nintendo Switch. Choose from a roster of over 110 characters representing 22 teams. Score with powerful shots from the original work.
It's not a good
as well
game
as
unless
newly
somebody
added
screams like
special
that.
Moves to get passes, blocks, dribbles, and tackles a boost. Go on the offensive against elite competitors as you aim for victory. Gear up for sensational soccer action when Captain Tsubasa 2 World Fighters launches on the Nintendo Switch system this year. Next up are games heading to Nintendo Switch 2, including some games that will also be
Thank Killy and
available on
Red.
Nintendo
Thank you so
Switch.
much.
A life or death fight for survival begins. It was a normal day until a cave-in befell the city of Tokyo. As the dust settles, our protagonist, Anne, discovers an underground world deep below the metropolis. But she's not alone. Creatures called Xeno populate the unknown expanse.
Holy crap.
If you're found by a Xeno, it's game over.
He just...
Fighting is not an option.
That dinosaur just hit her really hard with its head.
Decision-making are vital to your survival. Analyze their patterns and find the best route to make your escape. Activate traps in each area to lure and ensnare any stalking Xeno. And by using GameShare, up to 4 players can share controls, including Anne's movement and camera adjustments. Whether locally or online, coordinating with your friends is key to making it out alive.
Why? Why would you play like that?
Survive the subterranean depths in Tokyo Scramble, launching exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2, February 11th.
Not to be confused with Tokyo Scrabble.
Today on Nintendo eShop. Awaken your Viking spirit.
Valheim, probably?
Battle, build, and conquer in this massive survival game. How you go about it is entirely up to you. You could start by gathering materials around the woods.
Madam will make you
Fashion
get
a
caught
bow
on purpose.
and
She totally
arrows
would.
To hunt wildlife and prepare meals. With an axe, you can chop trees to build a house. Yikes, don't get hit by falling trees. Build pillars, install beams, construct walls, make the roof, and even add a fireplace. Now you're safe, even from the cold. Wait, is this ventilated? Don't forget the chimney too. By upgrading your crafting stations, you can make items of higher quality. And once you've built a ship, set sail on the high seas to reach new lands and create even more strongholds. Plus, up to 10 players online can explore this vast world together. Now, go forth and survive in Valheim, launching on Nintendo Switch 2
Thank you, Stone Spire.
this year. Find your way forward in these games.
Another one from
Return to the
Stone Spire.
Kingdom of Hallownest and fight back the infection in this upgraded modern classic. Dodge, dash, and slash through this 2D action adventure platformer, now with enhanced visuals and improved frame rates on Nintendo Switch 2. Equip charms to enhance your abilities and deal magic damage using upgradable spells while exploring the vast interconnected map. Descend into a world of insects and heroes when Hollow Knight Nintendo Switch 2 Edition launches on Nintendo Switch 2 later today.
Thanks again, Stone Spire, for setting it up at 140. He's tempting a 10 bomb. Appreciate you, brother.
Switch 2 Edition for free with the upgrade pack. eFootball, reborn from Pro Evolution Soccer, is coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Build out your club, sign legendary players, and compete in tournaments around the globe in World Tour mode. Join an exciting competition where national teams face off every 4 years in the International Cup Tournament. Or play with friends locally or online to prove who's at the top of their game. Experience the excitement of soccer and aim to be the best in the world when eFootball Kickoff launches on Nintendo Switch 2 this summer. Travel through 4 ages in a brand new HD 2D action RPG. Explore the age of safekeeping, the hero Elliot's own time. The age of reconstruction, when humans nearly went extinct. The age of magic, a time when spells flourished. And the age of budding, the birth of human civilization. In each age, the scenery and citizens of Elliot's hometown will change. You can also obtain some weapons and magic unique to certain time periods. A story spanning time will soon begin. The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, launches on the Nintendo Switch 2 system, June 18th.
I played Valheim with Hilly a little bit one night, but not much beyond that.
With Super Bomberman games from the Super NES era. Play the first Super Bomberman through to the culmination of the series, Super Bomberman 5, including titles previously unreleased worldwide. The Famicom versions of Bomberman and Bomberman 2 are also included. Plus, there's a brand new Boss Rush mode, as well as game share support. Super Bomberman Collection launches on Nintendo Switch 2.
They're really promoting game share. I wonder if they got like a lot of negative feedback about the whole lending of the games thing. Here you go.
Continues.
FF7.
The second entry in the Final Fantasy VII Remake series is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
He's alive.
In pursuit of his arch nemesis Sephiroth, Cloud Strife and his comrades escape the city of Midgar and embark on a journey across the vast world. Traverse the planet on chocobos,
Yo, thank you, Joker Quinn.
wheelies, in a buggy, or other modes of transportation. Team up with allies in battles, blending action and strategy. If you'd like to focus on the story, there's also a boost function to make combat easier. You'll also find various activities scattered across the world, allowing you to take a break from the action.
You're mine.
And as you interact with your allies, their affinity toward you will grow and impact how the story unfolds. What fate awaits Cloud and his crew in their pursuit of Sephiroth? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth launches on Nintendo Switch 2, June 3rd. Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop.
Yo, what's good, Feed? I see you in the chat. Thanks, guys, for being here. Make sure you're hitting the like button on YouTube.
Vitals stable. Awakening subject, Hugh Williams.
While investigating a lunar research station, an injury befalls spacefarer Hugh Williams.
All right.
With him is Diana, an android called a Pragmata.
There you are.
Oh, it's pronounced Pragmata. I've been saying Pragmata. Pragmata. This game had a lot of performance issues in some of the trailers. I'm surprised to see this one hit in Switch 2. We'll see.
AI, which sends enemy bots after them.
Come on, gun work.
These bots have near impenetrable armor.
I think I can help.
But with Diana's hacking skills, you can break down their defenses.
Initiating hack.
What the heck was that?
By moving the cursor through panels toward the green goal, you can hack the enemy bots.
There's no time to explain. Shoot now.
Once their weak points are exposed, fire away.
I hacked it.
Depending on the nodes you pass through, you can modify the damage and effects of a hack. Each split-second decision can change the outcome of battle.
Energy levels.
What truths will the two find in this AI-controlled lunar station?
So it's not one of your bot buddies?
Overdrive protocol. Initiate.
Yeah, I don't know about performance on the Switch 2 in this game, y'all. Whew, boy. It's going to look rough. Oh, it is Pragmata. That's how they pronounce it in the other trailers? Okay.
And what will Diana learn?
She's like, ow, that hurt. I'm going to kill you with all 5 of my fingers.
Pragmata. Nintendo Switch 2, April 24th. A demo will be available later today on Nintendo eShop.
Well, there you go. Hey, you know what? Mad props.
We hope you're looking
Mad props to them for letting you play a demo on the Switch 2. You'll be able to see if it runs well or not. I think it's going to look kind of bad.
Let's continue with more headlines.
He said Skill Up said it looked pretty good in his demo. All right, maybe they're pulling off Wizard Turok. Maybe we'll get a release date.
Legendary Turok
We'll get some
warrior
gameplay.
in this intergalactic action shooter. To stop an alien threat from destroying all human life, you'll journey solo or with a team of warriors online and battle all sorts of primal creatures in ferocious
Turok's gonna have
combat.
co-op.
Swap between first-person and third-person perspectives.
Ooh, the guns
as
look
you
sick.
unleash weapons, melee attacks, and special abilities to devastate foes. Extract DNA from fallen enemies and the environment to upgrade your arsenal, evolve your mantle, and unlock even more abilities called Echo Syncs to gain a greater edge in combat. As you venture across breathtaking worlds, you'll unravel the mysteries that ultimately hold the key to saving humanity. Turok Origins launches on Nintendo Switch 2 this fall.
I did not know that game was coming this year. They didn't really say anything, did they? Did they say 2026? I don't remember getting a release window or anything. Fall of this year? That could slip to next year, though, because we know that fall is going to be some GTA 6 problems for people.
Where monsters roam free. A boy named Ray must use his newly awakened powers against the threat as he joins Hirosaka Academy, a school for gifted students. The Academy's goal? Conquer Xanadu, the great labyrinth rumored to be the origin of this other world. While traversing the labyrinth, hone your abilities and reshape the terrain to expand the range of your exploration. Then, take on dangerous enemies in 3D action RPG combat. Use your powers to overcome foes. Outside the labyrinth, improve your stats. And spend time with your friends as you prepare to conquer Xanadu. The battle between man and monster begins. Discover the truth when Kyoto Xanadu launches on the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch systems this summer.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be built for co-op or not, Butters. It looked like the boss fights in the general combat and world exploration in Turok would work with co-op, though.
Story game. One day, a powerful blast causes the world to collapse and sends you 8 years into the past. With over 450 Digimon to collect, adventure through the human world and digital world to save the future.
Yo, thank you. Thank you, D-Tom, for 53 months. Surprisingly good showcase. They're probably going to show Requiem, probably at the end.
Playing in 4K at 30 frames per second, or performance mode, playing in full HD at 60 frames per second. Digimon Story Time Stranger launches on the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch systems July 10th.
All right, they got about
begin later today.
They got about 10 minutes
eShop.
left.
An adventure set high in the sky is soaring in. Form your party from a roster of over 20 characters, each with their own fighting style. Channel the power of teamwork and summon mighty primal beasts to vanquish your enemies. You can also team up in local or online multiplayer. Grand Blue Fantasy, Relink, Endless
I was pretty frustrated. I had Madam play through the entire opening of Grand Blue Fantasy Relink only to find out that co-op is not for the whole game. Like, it's just for, like, the side missions.
Monster Hunter Stories game is flying in. Your monster allies, called Monsties, can learn special abilities through a ceremony called the Rite of Channeling. Raise your Monsties as you travel the world. The lands lie on the brink of disaster. Monsters are on the verge of extinction. And the riders trying to save the world will have to contend with an even greater threat. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection soars onto Nintendo Switch 2, March 13th. A demo will be available later today on Nintendo eShop.
I mean, I think Nintendo's kind of flexing right now. I think they're basically showing how many third-party companies want to be on their platforms.
3, 2, 1, go!
Rave Racer, published by Namco in 1995, speeds into the Arcade Archives 2 lineup. Aim for first place in a race against your rivals. And get ready for a new line of home console titles. Console Archives is on the way. Doraemon. Sonic Wings Special. And more will be released over time. The first wave of Console Archives titles includes Cool Borders and Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos. These titles will be available on Nintendo Switch 2 later today.
There you go. Scott Pilgrim is on March the 3rd. This is going Reanimal, February the 13th. Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown, February the 18th. Just in case you guys look away from the screen, I'm just saying the names of the games and the release dates. Disney Dreamlight Valley, March 25th. Wait, was that the girl from that one cartoon? Whatever it was called, PGA Tour 2K25, February the 6th.
We found another body.
Yep, there we go.
Your eyes on the crime scene.
When a string of mysterious deaths occurs across America, FBI analyst Grace Ashcroft is captured by the suspect while investigating the case.
What did you do to me?
In her attempt to escape, Grace comes up against unknown threats.
These frame rates are
A limited
terrifying.
supply of healing items and ammunition are at her disposal. Will she confront the threats head-on, or save her ammo for the next encounter? For Grace, impending doom is always close at hand. Meanwhile, another agent working for an anti-bioterrorism organization is also on the case, Leon S. Kennedy.
6 survivors at Raccoon City Hall, dead from the same thing.
With his physical prowess, Leon can parry an opponent's attack, then strike to break the stunned opponent's stance in close quarters combat. He can fire from a distance using handguns and rifles, or use an enemy's weapon.
Why'd they show him
against them.
missing?
Leon has a varied arsenal of attacks at his disposal. This game features both third-person and first-person camera perspectives, and you can change your perspective at any time. There are multiple difficulty options available, including a mode for less experienced players that features aim assist. Guide Grace as she attempts to escape unprecedented terrors, and Leon, who relies on strength to carve his own path. What will they discover?
Oh, they don't want to show blood.
Resident Evil Requiem.
That's
launches
funny that they
on
literally
Nintendo Switch
February
Tuesday,
27th.
February
They literally
20th.
showed them missing
Pre-orders are
gunshots
available
because
now
they
on
don't
Nintendo
want to
eShop.
show the blood.
Resident Evil
They're like,
6
you can miss gunshot after gunshot if you're terrible. Come and play Resident Evil Requiem on February 27th.
or Resident Evil Requiem first.
Little disclaimer at the bottom, you're actually allowed to shoot the bad guys in this game.
Featuring original art is releasing alongside the games. Amiibo figures of Grace and Leon will also be available this summer. You can scan them to receive in-game weapon skins.
I just never shoot.
Resident Evil Requiem, the latest entry in the Resident Evil series,
they
is
just
launching
aim.
later this month.
Like, I swear I'm gonna shoot.
You can also look forward to a creator's voice video featuring a member of the Resident Evil Requiem development team. The video will release in the near future. Next is our last announcement.
Yeah, is it gonna be Black Myth?
Hey everybody, from
Nope.
all of us here at Bethesda Game Studios. If you're like us, Nintendo has meant so much to you from your early days of gaming to now. It was incredible for us to partner on the original Switch, and it was just such a great piece of hardware and also so personal when you play. We're excited to finally bring a number of our franchises for the first time to Nintendo. I hope you all
Skyrim.
enjoy the journey.
Skyrim's coming for like the 10th time, guys.
Vault Dwellers, welcome home. Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition is emerging on Nintendo Switch 2.
Everybody loved it.
Scavenge,
Everybody loved the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, right,
and
guys?
create alliances as you reshape the wasteland and what remains of civilization. Every choice matters. Fancy yourself a smooth talker or pining to pump up your power armor? Choose from hundreds of perks that fit your playstyle. Every road leads somewhere new.
No, yeah,
From
Skyrim's
the
already
heart
there.
of
I'm just
Diamond
goofing
City
around.
to the shadowy
I knew it
corners of
wasn't
forgotten
Skyrim.
vaults. The Commonwealth is packed
Just
with stories
goofing.
waiting to be uncovered. In addition to the base game, experience 6 official expansions and over 150 Creation Club items to expand your adventure. Grab your Pip-Boy and traverse the wasteland in Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, launching on Nintendo Switch 2, February 24th. Pre-orders begin later today on
Awesome.
Nintendo eShop. The year is 1937. Sinister forces are
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
we
hunt
knew
for
this
an
was
ancient
coming.
power,
Yeah.
And only one person can stop them.
Watch me.
Embark on a globe-trotting cinematic adventure in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Set between the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, Indy will journey around the world to uncover the mystery behind the Great Circle. From the pyramids of Giza to the sunken temples of Sukhothai and beyond, use your wits to infiltrate historic areas and solve fiendish puzzles. Or use your whip to face off against dangerous foes and explore a world full of daring escapes and unforgettable encounters.
Once again, missing every gunshot.
Adventure calls when Indiana Jones and the Great Circle launches on Nintendo Switch 2, May 12th.
He really
Pre-orders
shut the
begin later
frick out of that
today
water.
on
He
Nintendo eShop.
gave that water what's what, boys.
Explore the vast landscape of Cyrodiil in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Experience this renowned open-world RPG now on a Nintendo system for the first time. Freely customize your character to match your playstyle. Then adventure amongst an unforgettable cast of characters.
By the grace of the gods, I serve Tamriel as her ruler.
And fight back the Daedra to close shut the jaws of Oblivion. Master ranged or melee weapons. Wield powerful magic or use stealth skills to best your foes. In this remastered version, character models, weapons, even rocks and sweet rolls have all been meticulously recreated. Combat animations have also been updated to give them a modernized touch. Plus, the Shivering Isles and Knights of the Nine expansions are included alongside the main story to take your adventure even further. Step through the gates once more when The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered launches on the Nintendo Switch 2 system this year. We hope you're excited for these games from Bethesda Softworks. That's all for today's Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. Thank you for watching.
Well, the no Elden Ring, no Duskbloods, and then no Black Myth, but the Final Fantasy was there. I'm very, very curious what they're going to end up doing with Elden Ring and what they're going to end up doing with Duskbloods with respect to, like, when are they going to show them? When are we going to get a good look at gameplay? Because I continue to think both those games are going to struggle with performance. Yeah. I mean, I think it makes perfectly good sense. I think it makes perfectly good sense to put, like, games from Bethesda like that on the Switch 2. Because, I mean, they're older games. Like, that's perfect. You guys remember, I told you when we were, like, people were saying that, you know, the Horizon Lego game going to Switch, they were saying that they felt like, oh yeah, other PlayStation games could go to the Switch. I could totally see PlayStation 4 games going to the Switch too. I totally could. Like, I could see taking Horizon Zero Dawn, the PS4 version, God of War 2018, Spider-Man. I could totally see PS4 games going to Switch because it's like, hey, that's a great way to let people play a game that is essentially built for that spectrum of hardware strength, and then you could get people to come over to potentially to the PlayStation 5. PlayStation is getting new user acquisition from the reports that we saw. Their MAUs hit a new record. So they're probably saying, hey, I tell you what, let's go to another platform with some of our stuff and see if we can't get people to come over to PlayStation for sequels. They can, but should they? I think if they know that it works for new user I think if they know that it works for new user acquisition, they 100% believe that they should do it. Yes, Hidden Siryu, I believe it. If PlayStation can internally measure the impact of taking games like that to other platforms, and then they knowingly can find people like, hey, these people will jump over and become a new user, they will. Not with a handheld? No, I don't think a handheld holds bearing here. I don't think they would take PlayStation 5 games over, which is where the barrier would be, Eugene. Imagine playing Horizon Zero Dawn on Switch 2, and then you see a whole new host of stuff from PlayStation coming out, like a handheld and stuff like that, where like that's where you want to be if you want to play the PS5 games. It just does not surprise me at all that companies are looking at the Switch 2 as just a perfect place to dump a bunch of old games. Like, think about it. The cost to port a game from, like, that era of time, from the PS4 era of time. You've got the PS4 era, you've got games from Xbox One era, and they're porting them over to the Switch 2. That's like free money. Nintendo is a mortal enemy, betrayer of Sony. Right, but again, listen to what I'm saying. If it's so cheap and so easy to take old games over to Nintendo, I could totally see them doing it. I could totally see PlayStation justifying, especially if it's just PlayStation 4 games. Performance levels are perfect for old games. That's what I'm saying, Pac-Man. It's all money at the end of the day. It's no threat to PlayStation 5's current trajectory and inertia to take old PS4 games to the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm dead serious. It wouldn't shock me at all. You can clearly see in the market right now, there is a big push to be on the Switch 2. There's a big push. You're seeing Bethesda put a bunch of games back from that era of time over there. You're seeing Resident Evil, Pragmata. There's a lot of companies that are like, listen, we want to be on that platform. It's going to be a big platform to put games onto. I don't know if the Switch 2 base justifies it. I don't know, boys. I don't know. That Nintendo Partner Direct, to me, communicates very loudly what we have heard in the lead up to Switch 2 releasing. We kept hearing that everybody was looking at the platform very differently this time around. They were looking at the Nintendo Switch as like, hey, we should probably be over there, y'all. We should probably have our games over there. There's so much crossover between Switch 2 users and PlayStation users already. A perfectly good reason to do it, Eugene. If you already have cartilage between the brands, why not take a bunch of PlayStation 4 games over there, and then people that are like, hey, you know what? A lot of my buddies that have Switch 2s also have PlayStation 5s. Maybe I should get one too. I'd love to play the sequel to Horizon or Spider-Man or God of War. I'm serious, man. I'm serious. If they already have that kind of cohesion and cartilage within the consumer bases between the two platforms, you could get more people. I want you to look at that MAU that PlayStation just boasted about, and I want you to look at what they've consistently said about new user acquisition, and I really want you to question. They're trying to grow the MAU number. They want new users on their platform. They have found a way to do it. They started putting games on PC, and they're getting migratory effects probably from Xbox. Why not go to one more platform and say, hey, we've got really great games. Here, you can play the games that are now at this point. I mean, when did Horizon Zero Dawn even come out? Spider-Man and God of War came out in 2018. Those are 8-year-old games. There's no harm in taking a game that's almost 10 years old and putting it on the Nintendo Switch 2. Having a 17 million base in under a year isn't a good justification. You can't look at today's user base as if that's where it will be in another 6 months to a year. Yeah, I know Switch 2 underperformed outside of Japan, but like I don't necessarily think that's indicative of how it's doing. It underperformed for their own expectations. It sold like an insane amount. It sold so well. It sold so well. I don't know, boys. I'm just telling you, I would prepare. I would prepare for there to be a shift in what PlayStation's willing to do with games that are almost 10 years old. Will porting old games not hurt Sony's own upcoming handheld? No, it won't. I don't think the new handheld's going to be setting its sights on like PS4 games. It's going to be setting its sights on the PS5 games at low power mode. Stop this nonsense, Lono. Sony would never release their big single-player games on the Switch. They're still doing timed exclusives like Neo 3. Homie, I don't think you guys are listening. I think you guys are being quick to reject the notion. I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying. I'm not talking about them walking over God of War Ragnarok or The Last of Us Part 2. I'm talking about PlayStation 4 games that are almost 10 years old. Brothers, the Switch is going to be a major platform in the market. And these companies are thinking about that right now. I don't know. Discord's muted? Oh, I thought I unmuted it. My bad, Discord. That they took Helldivers 2 to Xbox, boys. I'm just telling you, the optics of it aren't great. I don't agree. I don't agree. A lot of people said the same thing about putting PlayStation games on PC, and look what happened. PlayStation is boasting new user acquisition of about 30%. They hit a record MAU number. Again, they hit another record MAU number. I'm telling you, boys, executives don't think that way. They're going to say, listen, man, this strategy's working. Why would we not put PS4 games on the Switch too? See my last? It's not about the age of the games. Hang on. Joker Quinn says, the part you're missing, Lono, is how iconic franchises like God of War are to PlayStation. It would damage the brand beyond repair. Like putting them on PC? Like putting a Horizon Lego game on Switch? Lono, you have to see Sony's financials. I think you'll change your tune. Why would I change my tune if I look at their financials? What do you think is going to change my mind? Just because if it's lucrative doesn't mean it changes the honor aspect. There's a lot of new leadership. There's a lot of new leadership, and you guys are really underestimating what that new leadership might think. Nick says, why do y'all in chat got to be delusional? We never thought we'd see PlayStation games on PC. What makes you think it'd never happen for the Switch? Don't die in these hills. I'm telling y'all. It doesn't, to me, I'm not bothered one bit if they put PS4 games on the Switch too. I'm on record. This isn't the first time I've said this. I said this last year multiple times. I said if they put PS4 games on the Switch too, that doesn't bother me at all. You're attempting to strengthen your footprint and your saturation. They did it with PC. I could see them doing it again with Switch. I don't think they think the Switch is a cross-purchase consideration for most consumers. Therefore, it's a good additive market for them to put their property. $10 super chat from Neo Reaper. Polish outlet PPE has gotten a hold of European retail product identification listings for Starfield PS5 Standard and Premium Editions with a release date of April the 7th. Thank you very much. Well, I can see the argument for it, says Alapark. I have to think that they are going to wait until their own handheld's in the market. They aren't going to want to hurt the sales of that thing. You think games that are almost 10 years old going to Switch would hurt their handheld? Who do you think they're going to market their handheld to? They're not going to market their handheld to Switch users, boys. They're not. Oh, and let's not forget, maybe they do convince a bunch of people that these games are awesome. These 8-year-old, 10-year-old PlayStation 4 games, they think that they're awesome, and then they want to play the sequel. What better way to get that person to come over to PlayStation and saying, oh yeah, we just launched a handheld that can play the sequel to those games at performance that you're already accustomed to, like Ragnarok and Forbidden West. Come on, boys. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. You get a couple million people to try out Horizon Zero Dawn from 8 years ago, 9 years ago. It's almost a 10-year-old game. And then all of a sudden, you've got a handheld where they can play the sequel. I don't know, man. I'm just telling y'all. I'm looking at this Nintendo Partner Direct, and you know what I see? I see Nintendo flexing. They're like, everybody wants to be over here. Pacey says optics are not great, especially because Switch 2 is becoming more of a direct competitor. Thank you so much for the raid, Chrono, over there on Purple. Nintendo Switch 2 is not even remotely a direct competitor to the PS5. Not even remotely. No way. No one is going to look at this Partner Direct today and be like, well, that's where I want to play all my third-party games. What they're doing is they're selling third-party games to existing Nintendo boys. Nintendo Switch 2 is not even remotely a threat to the PlayStation 5 or the PlayStation 5 Pro. Not even remotely. I mean, look at the holiday sales. PlayStation 5 outsold the Switch 2 in what was it was in some markets, wasn't it? Come on. Come on, dude. No. Not even close. They're not cross-purchased. They're not cross-compared purchases. They aren't. I think it hurts the market's thought on the handheld. Why get the handheld when I'm starting to get games on my Switch too? I again do not think... Alapark, what you're saying is what everybody said about PC. Well, why would I buy a PlayStation 5? I can just get the PlayStation games on my PC. And they got people to buy PlayStation 5s. They got new user acquisition. There are people in this community who bought a PlayStation 5 because they didn't want to wait to play Ragnarok. They didn't want to wait to play Spider-Man 2. A lot of folks are going to give in when they see GTA 6 or when they see Wolverine. They're like, I'm not freaking waiting. I know those games are going to come to PC eventually, but I'm not going to wait. People said the same thing about PC. You're saying it about the Switch 2 as if like, well, I can get Horizon Zero Dawn, which came out 8 years ago on the Switch 2. I'm going to wait for them to bring Forbidden West over here. There's no guarantee they're even going to do that. Horizon Forbidden West might be too demanding. I mean, they got it to run on the PS4, but like Spider-Man 2 would be a better example. Spider-Man 2 is a PS5 only game, and the way that the fast travel works, the way that traversal works, you're not going to get Spider-Man 2 to run on a Switch 2. No way. You got to come over to PlayStation for those titles, for the newer titles, for the better looking titles. That is exactly what they did with PC. That's exactly what they did to PC. They go over there. Nobody was convinced to be like, oh, I'm not switching. I want whatever Lono's smoking. Yeah, look what Creature's saying. Sure, you can play PlayStation games on the PC 2 to 3 years later. Sure, you can play PlayStation games on the Switch 9 to 10 years later. That's what I'm saying. You're talking about games that are like almost 10 years old, boys. Cloud Strife with 32 months. Lono, gamers only think about emotions and not business. Two different markets. PlayStation and Nintendo are two different lanes. PlayStation 4 games on the Switch 2. I'm telling you, boys. You guys think I'm crazy. That's fine. That's fine. That Nintendo Partner Direct screamed to me really loudly, we're about to show y'all, like, we are going to be a big platform. We're going to be a platform where everybody wants to be over here. Third party, PlayStation, Xbox, everybody wants to be over there. I'm telling y'all. And it's prime real estate for PlayStation 4 games. They'll be super easy ports. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's different architecture. So maybe the ports won't be so easy, but there's not going to be this massive concern about performance. These games ran on the PS4. I'm one of those people, says Omar. Sony has gotten me to buy games twice, countless times now. I can tell you what that direct said to me. Brace yourselves. It's wild. Voice typing's killing me. What'd you try to say, Bryson? I think no one knows underestimating how stubborn people are. My PC friends still believe in waiting for everything on PC. No. Bryson. They don't care about that, brother. They're going to get your money either way. They know there are people that will never come off of PC. They know that. I'm talking about the people that are willing to move. PlayStation is boasting that roughly 30% of the people who have purchased a PS5 are new users. Okay? Those people are coming from somewhere. They're getting migration from somewhere. We know there's some migration from Xbox for sure. We know people personally. To your anecdotal evidence, I give you my own anecdotal evidence. There are people in this community and in this chat right now who are like, I'm not waiting for Ragnarok. I'm not waiting for Spider-Man 2. I'm going to buy a PS5 for $450 so I can play right now. And if you have a Nintendo Switch 2 and you play Horizon Zero Dawn and you're like, yo, the sequel to this game looks pretty sick and a PlayStation 5 is roughly the same cost as my Switch 2, I wouldn't mind having both platforms. That Wolverine's looking pretty awesome too. I'm not getting Wolverine. You're basically, what you're doing is you're planting an infection. You're like basically saying, hey, by the way, you haven't really ever checked out our games maybe before. We make really great games. You're putting yourself on the radar of a massive player base, of a massive consumer base. It's the same logic that they use with PC. It's the same logic. It's like, it's a massive user base. If we just get a percentage point of those people to trickle over, that's a win. It's a win. You get 0.5% of the PC user base to consider buying a PlayStation. That's a win in their book. The PC Steam user base is enormous. You get like 0.5% of people who own a Switch, or 1% or whatever, to be like, hey, maybe I should get a PS5. I feel like that's a win. It's not about the money. It's about doing business right. The relationship between Xbox is not the same as the relationship between Nintendo. You have to wait at least another 20 years. All right. All right. I'm telling y'all. I feel it. I feel it in the air. You know what I mean? My spidey sense is tingling on this one. Guys, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. In about 10 minutes, we're going to go to a new stream. This is the Nintendo Direct stream. In 10 minutes on the hour, we're going to be doing a brand new stream. I got a bunch of gaming news to discuss with you. GTA 6, we got a Bungie Marathon leak, we got the Sony sales reports and numbers. There's a whole lot going on to discuss, so make sure you hit the like button on this Nintendo Direct stream because people are going to come and watch this later. You guys can call me crazy. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm telling you, my spidey sense is tingling. I watched that there right there, and I was like, yep, PlayStation's going to take their PS4 games over here. And unlike PC, nobody's going to say, I'll just sell my PS5 and buy a Switch. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. No one is going to switch. You have to see. The migratory risk is never there with the Switch 2. Nobody is going to be like, I'm going to get rid of my PS5 now that PS4 games are going over to the Switch 2. Nobody's doing that. Nobody is going to migrate their loyalty from PlayStation to Nintendo. There's no risk of that happening. The only thing that could happen is people could come over to PlayStation as a new user. We're telling you, not their big AAA single-player IPs. I'm telling you, boys. What consumer that's put in time, right? 132 million MAUs for PlayStation. New record, right? Out of the 132 million that have done that, logged in regularly recently to play, who of them is going to be so mad that they took an 8-year-old game over to Switch 2 that they're going to, abandon the platform? Come on. Come on. There's no risk. They can only benefit. You guys aren't seeing a bigger picture. I'm telling you. There's no risk at all. Nobody's going to be like, I can't believe they did that. A PlayStation 4 game from 8 years ago went to the Nintendo Switch 2. Do you want to know why nobody's going to be that incensed? The PlayStation loyalists, they don't look at Nintendo the way they look at Xbox. Now, if any of these PS4 games make their way to Xbox, you could see some people getting pretty ticked about that. Their loyalty and their tribalism would feel provoked by that. I don't know. Xbox's hardware seems to be heading towards PC land anyway, so I don't know why PlayStation would do that. That would be kind of weird, unless it was just kind of like, well, it's a dying platform anyway. Let's just get a couple more sales. I don't... to me, that could be like, hey, as your console's kind of dying and they're not going to do a traditional console anymore, we want to make you aware we've got really great games over here. I mean, I could maybe see that angle because that Magnus is going to be expensive and it's basically going to be PC adjacent. So maybe PlayStation could see that as like, hey, let's get one last migratory push as Xbox users are basically like, well, we're not really going to get a console anymore. I don't know. Fans don't think of Nintendo that way. I don't think games from the PlayStation 4 era going to the Nintendo Switch 2 would upset the PlayStation loyalists to the degree of like Xbox. I would agree with your reasoning, Lono. If PlayStation wasn't getting a bunch of new users, I think PlayStation wants those new users to buy those games. The only game that doesn't have a PS5 version is God of War 2018. Okay, you're missing something, Gojira. Days Gone's got a remastered version. Horizon Zero Dawn's got a remastered version. The Last of Us Part 2's got a remastered version. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the literal PS4 versions of these games getting ported. So, yes, the people on PlayStation 5, they want buying those games for sure. A PS4 version of these games going to Switch 2, let me tell you, the performance on the Switch 2 is not at all going to convince any PlayStation 5 owner to be like, well, I'm going to go over there now. Why is Horizon Zero Dawn coming up now? I'm using that as an example. I think it or Spider-Man, any one of them, I think could go over to the Switch. Well, see my last from earlier. All PS4 games would be great on the Switch 2. That's literally my logic. Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War 2018, Ghost of Tsushima, Uncharted 4, Spider-Man, Killzone, Shadowfall, Knack, Infamous Second Son, The Order, Days Gone, Ratchet & Clank 2016. I'm telling you, boys. I'm telling you. I got a feeling on this one. I got a gut feeling on this one. I literally just watched a Nintendo Direct, and I'm like, Yep. It's a gut feeling, boys. And here's the thing. I said this before. I'm not saying this brand new today. I said this last year. I told y'all, we heard whispers and rumors last year about that. And I said, listen, man, Switch 2 is about to be gigantic. It's about to be monolithic in the culture, in the ecosystem, in the economy of gaming. It's about to be huge. I'm here to tell you, PlayStation could look at it as a perfect market to take PS4 games, the same way they looked at PC. You could easily have an executive in a room somewhere saying, hey, this worked on PC. We have it on paper that people have bought PlayStation 5s and are new users because we put games on PC. We could do the same thing on the Nintendo Switch too. Do you have insider info? No, I'm not claiming that at all. That thing ended, and I just immediately told people, I said, I think PlayStation wants to be over there. The third party prominence and push. You see Capcom games like Resident Evil 9 and Pragmata over there. I don't know, boys. I don't know. I can't see it any other way. It's a perfect match, and it's not a cross-buy purchase that people make. Nobody's buying a Switch 2 and saying, now I don't need a PlayStation. Nobody's doing that. I think Duskbloods and Elden Ring are going to have severe or at least consistent performance problems. Here's what we got to do. I need a quick minute. In about 5 minutes, we're going to go to a new live stream. Okay? VIP from Higgs. Thank you so much, Higgs. In just a couple minutes. I need a quick break, and we're going to go to the live stream. There is a ton of gaming news to discuss. The stuff about GTA 6 from Take-Two, the PlayStation earnings call, Ghost of Yotei. How did it sell? We also have leaks about Marathon and Bungie. Tons to discuss, so don't go anywhere. Smash that like button. I will be right back, all right? Oh, stupid. There's so much static in this daggum room. Even putting the chair back there. Okay. Okay. Let me set up redirect. Oh, it's already set up. Okay. All right, guys, do me a favor. Hit the like button before we leave. And don't forget to hit the like button on the new stream. Okay? because we need those likes. The new stream won't have any likes. All right, I'm going to put a link in chat because you can use that link. Oh, sorry, you guys just got like double audio. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, I don't have my script up. Give me 1 second. Oops. All right, here we go. Gaming news today is all about pleasant surprises. First, we've got a lot of good and surprising news about GTA 6. They spoke to the release date, the physical release, the marketing, and the use of generative AI. Second, we have Bungie Marathon leaks that could be encouraging to the sweaty players, but it could be another aspect of the game that will push away the casuals. We will discuss that and what that could lead to. We also have the Neo 3 reviews coming in. They look great, but what also came in overnight and this morning was sales reports from an earnings call at PlayStation, and it looks like Ghost of Yotei somehow managed to flop its way past Ghost of Tsushima, which is not what any of those people who grift and, mislead the public said. Isn't that crazy? Anyways, we're going to look at all of it. Look for those timestamps below. I'm going to end the previous stream. We covered the Nintendo Direct. I'm going to bring people over, and thank you guys so much for being there in that live stream.